Um, you can have your seat. Let me start by greeting the Agbana in name and Agbana in title. So, Dr. Mrs. Agbana, it's good to see you, and I'm happy you're here. This is German too. Good, I know we're always together. And the IPU Deputy President, and now the CGUAD, the convener, I greet you. I'm really impressed because one, I asked Pastor Richard, I said, did you have up to 20 youth? You know, they said. So, and the way I'm looking, I think we have up to 40 or 50. So, in one of my presentation, I said one good youth is better than 100 useless ones. So, if we have as much as this number, that means we are good to go. And we are moving ahead. I will not take more than 30 minutes, even if I can do justice. And most of the things I have in my book too has been clearly stated by Dr. Agbana. So I may not necessarily have to repeat those things again. And talking about my biography is something I love. I'm always very proud to say it anytime and to give everybody a sense of hope that anybody can become somebody. In this community where we are now, in Isanlu, we have the highest number of professors in the whole of Okun. Recently, we have, between last year to this year, we have two senior advocates from this community. I can go on and go on and go on. And to let you know, especially the youth, you can become a leader. And good enough too. So my book here, I'm just going to divine so that we will not do going back to what doctor have said. And some of the things that I have here too is something that must have explained to you. But I'm really concerned about not about the topic anyway, magnetic leadership. I try as much as possible to talk about the youth, divining the youth. We are all youth here, and if only we can get it right when we are youth, we'll be moving forward in Nigeria. Our problem in Nigeria, in Africa, is leadership. We have all the resources, better than any country, much more than any country, but we don't have a leader. And when we are talking of leader, the doctor made mention of it, we are not talking of politicians. They're supposed to be leader. But what we have here are in-house. They've succeeded, if not by grace of God, this country wouldn't have remained again, or Africa wouldn't have remained. You can see leadership changing in every country, military coming up, and whatever. Election violence, what are the causes? Bad leadership. So let me quickly start from defining the youth. I put it this way, and youth varies from country to country. It depends on how you define it. But in Nigeria, for example, the average male enters the workforce at the age of 15. And in Nigeria, about 75% of women give birth before their 20th birthday. It's happening here, even in Salu. Youth are undereducated. In developing world, nearly one third of youth are illiterate. In the least developed countries, only 13% of girls or 22% of boys enroll in secondary education. Youth are unemployed. Approximately 70 million Nigerians, young people are unemployed in Nigeria. Um, there are many responsibilities of youth. Youth is responsible to build the nation, to make the society good and noble. Youth can improve the community and culture of society. If youth understand his responsibility, a large number of crimes may reduce within one day. And in Nigeria, we need responsible youth. We do not need careless, drunken, drug addict, and reckless youth. Because this type of youth wake our country. You find out that the celebration we are doing, Christmas, New Year, people, you know, engage in all this kind of believing that that is the responsibility of youth. That is not the responsibility of youth. A responsible youth is better than 100 careless youths. Just one, better than careless one. Careless you do not understand his responsibility. He is not entitled for any facility. Your responsibility makes you perfect if he performs his responsibility. Many people need the help of youth, but you do not care of this. And after this, so many mishappening on carelessness of the youth. Corruption, politics, crime, and toxic system are hurting our nation like ghosts. I love what Doctor said about our political leaders. Now, from house to house, they will say, leader, leader. That's the politicians. The moment you desire or you can gather 4 or 5 people for political reasons, they will call you leader. Some people that cannot even win a ward, even a polling unit, they will call him leader. And that's why we have so many useless leaders. Everybody is now honorable or leader. That is not the definition of leader. But that is why we find ourselves now because of politics. And the moment you can gather 4 or 3 people and buy them beer or whatever, drinks, automatically that title leader will come up. And they will be calling him leader. That is not the kind of leaders we are talking about. I will not be able to read everything, but we always say youth of today will be leaders tomorrow, right? Let me quickly go to the um, second page. Um, Nigeria is the largest youth population in the black world today, either we like it or not. And our population of the youth supposed to be our strength. The entire world is eyeing Nigeria as a source of human development and manpower. I'm surprised, Dr. Agbana, you've not Japa because of the children. Now, if you ask anybody now, after graduation or whatever, especially the skilled ones, the next thing they are thinking about is how to leave the country. Everybody wants to Japa, even when the place might not be better than Nigeria. But the fact is that you can see people, even Nigerians migrating to Libya or even Benin Republic. Presently, Kogi State is looking for medical doctors, but we cannot even get. We have hospitals now. You can see the ultramodern hospital. I discussed with the permanent secretary of Minister of Health. And I said, look, it will not be too nice for us to have this kind of edifice without doctors. And he said, see, Kogi State, where they are looking for doctors to employ. Nobody is even applying. Then one of the hospitals we have now in Okene and Gegu, they have to go and be recruiting the retired medical doctors on contract. The last time we had a doctor here at the general hospital, we were even paying him 100,000 as a copper. When I called the guy after 2 months, he said yes. Even Kebbi State offered him a lot of incentives, but he will not wait. He will have to leave the country. And I asked why. How much are they going to pay you there? And they said one thing, security. So you hardly see a youth doctor. From the information we got in Lagos State Ministry of Health, that they've closed about 150 bed hospital. Within 1 year, 2 years, they've lost over 200 medical staff. Not only that, our Nigerians, it's not that maybe we don't have the brain. We have the youth, we have the but The situation of the country makes every youth they want to japa. They are looking at our youth as a source of talent at low cost for their future profit. And if Nigerian youth make up their mind and work in close unity with working class people, they can hold the political power in their hands. We are talking of responsible youth now before they become leader. We have a situation where we have youth becoming a governor, but it's not something that we can really be proud of. I'm not mentioning a particular state, it's everywhere. Then, if you look at the cost of running the governance, the cost of even a vehicle, you can build a cottage hospital in any community. That is the kind of youth we have now. But that is not the youth we are looking up for leadership. Now, the youth, like I told you, I'm not going to stay more than 30 minutes. So I have it on soft copy, and you can easily transfer it to whoever is interested. I'm really impressed that we are not doing political gathering here and we have enough youth gathering. That means we're determined to. And by the grace of God, if we determine like this, if we have that impact and listening to people, listening to lecture, we'll get somewhere. Because you are the one that can make it happen. You are the one that can build the nation. God will help us. Now, the best and the first and foremost way to strengthen our youth are to provide them education. Not just any kind of education, but the right kind of education which make them scientific, logical, open-minded, self-respecting, responsible, honest, and patriotic. Without this venture being developed, our youth cannot walk in desired way and they will remain in it. Um, yes, most of you must have read my story. I would have loved to be a PhD holder too, but I don't have the strength or the time again because of the workload in Isanlu and Yewa East. The last place I worked before now, we are operating a service company. That's servicing of automobile and bike, BMW bike. But you find out, do you know, we have so many graduates, I mean, mechanical, electrical, and some mechatronics. But do you know one thing? Ghanaians, we normally bring people from Ghana, Indians, and China. And these people, we call them master technicians. Our graduates normally work under them. And I find out what really happened. I went to Ghana, but do you know the master technicians are what are the people that pass through this 6334 system? They did not even go to the first system, just secondary school. Sound education. The system of the 6334 system is after secondary school, you can determine what you want to be. If you want to be a technician, if you want to be a mechanic, if you want to be furniture, whatever, they hardly go beyond that 433. From the junior secondary school, they've determined what they want to become. And they are the last senior secondary school, they are already perfect people. And they do well. And they will come here, then our graduates will now start learning under somebody that graduated from secondary school. That is the kind of sound education they have. That is the kind of education I pray for that in this country one time. Really, they plan it when they change our educational system to 6334 system. All the equipment and other things were bought. But what happened? Our leaders sold them off. And most people that graduated, it's just like a ritual for us to go through secondary school. Which impact we have as a youth in the society? If we have all this one, it's not necessary that all of us must go to university. So please, I still encourage our people. I wish all this lecture we get, we have so many lectures everywhere in the country, but now that you are youth, remember one day that you listen, that you can make a difference in our country. If only you become a good leader, because definitely you are going to become a good leader. I think I'll hear somebody say, Amen. You know, we believe in prayer in Nigeria, but we have to start as a youth. I watched one documentary of the Japanese. These are the people that doesn't even call God. I saw children even when they cross the pedestrian way. After crossing, they will turn back without looking at anybody and say thank you. I mean, whatever thing you do for them, they will say thank you. And posted something again and said, youth, I mean, the children from the Japanese youth, I mean, children, they've started learning one skill work, and the Chinese too, from their primary school. And that is why in India and China today, 15% of them are billionaires. 15% of the population are billionaires because they have good leaders. So the power of youth is enormous, and I don't want to go through it again since we have it. Doctor has really made mention of the magnetic leadership. And from the definition of magnet, very good topic. Things that are magnetic are attracted to metals. Also, people with charisma are called magnetic leaders. If everything is attracted to you, whether you are a refrigerator door or a rock star, you are a magnetic leader. Magnetic leader means something that attracts metal like iron or steel and others. Then when we go to leadership, so leadership is the ability of an individual group of people to influence and guide followers and members of organization, society, or team to destination, and must be visionary and futuristic. I listened to one commentator about leadership in Nigeria, and he praised Obasanjo and said, among the leaders we have in Nigeria today, dead or alive, Obasanjo happened to be one of the greatest, I mean, the best among them all. And he gave an example when he built the library in Ota. And somebody presented a cup. That means, you mean lion, what do you call lion? A small lion child, what do you call it? Cups, yes. And the man, you know what Obasanjo did? He built a small cage for the cup to grow. And that is what Nigeria is all about. So his own thinking is that this cup must remain in the same cage forever. If you watch very well, you know see that Arabs have turned lion to be their pet, and it doesn't hurt them. Training leadership. So among the whole Nigerian leaders, even down to the present one we have, their thinking is not. None of them is futuristic. We have been crying of maybe rebuilding a refinery or whatever. Why people are thinking of, other countries are thinking of clean energy. Clean energy in the sense that motor vehicles powered by electric, not electricity. So even in Nigeria, we are still thinking of modular refineries. Why other countries are moving away from. That is the kind of leaders we have. So if today somebody too in our say, look, Nigeria is far, far richer than Dubai. Yesterday, I watched the firework of Dubai, an Arab country. I was amazed. The Khalifa Tower was decorated from up to down, 56 story. And we are still doing banger here. I watched the best firework in Lagos that the whole governor even went to go and, It looked like I watched the Sydney. I watched Dubai, like Dubai, we are richer than Dubai. The kind of road we still have now, and look at the kind, you go to China, they're already building train inside water. We are still doing locomotive. That is the kind of leaders we have. So, magnetic leader must be futuristic, thinking beyond what we are thinking now. In a way, look at our road now. We are still patching road. Why some country poorer than us are having 8-lane roads? The youth, you can do it. And I believe we will get there. We will get there. Leaders want followers who are positive and self-motivated, who take action to get things done, who accept responsibility, and who excel in that required task. Dr. Agbana made mention of her husband. I listened to everything and how the husband was doing to neighbors and whatever as a leader. I do tell people, yes, I have some certificate, but have never used my certificate. And anywhere I get to, I make sure I do things differently. Do you believe that leaders are born or leaders are made? Eh? It depends. Don't talk like lawyer, like Emmanuel. Do you believe leaders are made or leaders are? They are made. Anybody can become a leader. You can become a leader. I do give examples of myself. I'm a living example. In my 20 something years of working for companies, they've never find me wanting. But I've gone on suspension 2 times because of my subordinates. And I take responsibility. And by the time I return back from that suspension, I do get applause or more responsibility. All the CEO, what they normally look out for is the best leaders and not employees. And I will give you a small story too. We service, I work in the service company then. And we had a customer. Actually, we deal with premium customers who spend millions on their vehicles. And an after lady came to change the color of her car because you want quality job. From the chassis number, you can determine the original of the car. And she went to Dubai, bought paint of original color with her chassis number, not minding whether the car must have been changed, whether the color has been changed before. And when she came, she brought the paint. Of course, customers are always right. We use it for her car, BMW 5 Series. And by the time she returned to pick her car, she saw a different color, not beyond imagination. And she was shouting and raising normal thing. Customers do shout, like the way they do in the bank and other things like that. All my subordinates, all my staff, ladies, of course, my engineer, they were begging her, trying to explain to her, this is what really happened. It's not them. And I came as the manager. Madam, please, this is what you gave us to do. Trying to prove. And you know the next thing, early morning split, she poured it on my face. And I quickly used my handkerchief and clean it up. Continue to beg her against it. All right. Now, my staff said, no, they cannot take it. They cannot take it. Why will you split on our manager's face? And I smiled. Continue. Wipe it out. And she later, you know, went out quietly. And I called my staff. Said, why will you take this kind of? They were asking me, why will you take this kind of a thing? I said, that is what leadership can take. Now, ordinarily, you will not see me outside and split on my face. She didn't split it on my face. She split it on the company's face. And that single incident taught many of them to endear customers. That is the kind of leader I am talking about. When you take responsibility, take charge, and you become a good leader. So people naturally, we need leaders not in love with money, but in love with justice, not in love with publicity, but in love with humanity. That's Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. People will naturally follow a great leader in the same way nearby meta objects will follow a magnet. Effective leaders, like magnets, have the power to attract and influence others. Madam has explained so much about that. So, just as a magnet attracts metal, a good leader has the ability to attract followers, inspire their team members, and create a sense of loyalty and commitment. By modeling positive behaviors and values, a good leader can inspire their team members to adopt similar attitude and behaviors. Exactly what I explained to you now. This can lead to a culture of excellence where team members are motivated to perform at their best and to continually improve. Moreover, like a magnet, a good leader is able to create a sense of attraction, excitement around their leadership style. They are able to draw people towards them, creating a sense of momentum and enthusiasm that can propel their team towards success. The question is, are you attractive as a leader? Everybody wants to be a leader, right? Hello? Hello? Everybody wants to be a leader, a magnetic leader. I will not go through this one again. Let me quickly move. In the soft copy, you can have it if you want it. And like what I said the other time, we have some leaders, especially in Isanlu here now. They say leader, but they don't have follower. They call them leader, but they don't have follower. Lead them, lead them, lead them. So if you don't have a follower and they are calling you a leader, we are not even talking of magnetic leader now. If they call you leader and you don't have follower, you are only leading yourself, and you are not leading to anywhere. To be honest about it, no one wants to attract mediocre followers. We want to build a team of great followers with the idea that a team of great followers will make the job of leading easier and may even enhance the quality of our results. Leaders who get great results are often described as great leaders. Being a magnetic leader requires the attraction of great followers. First, leaders that attract great followers are passionate about their goals and objectives. Like Madam made mention of that. You see, like when you believe in something, you should go for it. And you must have a goal. Some leaders, we have leaders, they are not leading us to anywhere. But what makes magnetic leaders today, that's why I don't want to talk about politics, is the amount of money you have. If they come to your house, if you are telling them the real facts about life, and they are coming to your house, you cannot buy them drinks, or you cannot give them money to waste, you are not a leader. In fact, I've been wondering why politicians, why somebody will go and sell his house in Abuja, or will go and take a loan of 1 billion naira to become a leader. That is not leadership. We have great leaders doesn't even, they have a vision and they want you to see it and they believe your followers can trust him. In Kaduna, the last election, somebody, an Okada rider, no, they said he was a councillor before. He won a House of Representative. He doesn't even have money to buy form. People bought the form for him, and he won the election. In fact, even in the tribunal, the opponent did not challenge him. Though today is there, he has collected 160 million naira vehicle now. So you see, the position or the environment have changed him from magnetic leader now to the kind of leader we are talking about. Um, this one too, Madam made mention of it. Second, if you aspire to lead great, you must be able to, you must be a superior communicator. That's speak the language you will understand. God in his infinite mercy created us without asking us where to drop us. Because if God has asked me before creation, I would have chosen another country, not Nigeria. Abi? So if God has asked me who is to be your mother, I may likely choose the Queen of England. So, but then he decided he created me here, me and you here, and gave us language we understand. That is why when we pray in different languages. Those some people will claim that their language will be the one to be spoken in heaven. I think our language will be spoken in heaven. So I don't know whether God will gather us together again so that we'll be speaking Yagba. But I know English is not God's language. Abi, I am not a lecturer, but I know when they say mass communication, the most important thing there is communication, getting things done. Some of the challenges we normally have with leaders, some people, the moment they become counselor, or let's say House of Assembly, leader, you can't get their number again. Some people will ask me, how do you manage with calls? Because I pick all calls. Even mad woman calls, I pick and listen. Anybody can call me. Some people say, don't give your number. Anybody have access to my number. And when you call me, either you are good or you are idiot, I will pick your call. Because I want to. So many of us now, you cannot have access to your governor, to call your governor. And we call him leader. Even councillors in some area, local government chairman, you will call him like 15 times. He will not pick your call. That is not a leader. So a leader must be a superior communicator. And you must be able to speak the language they will understand. A magnetic leader should be able to understand your feelings. Look, they call you honorable now, Abi. Eh? Abi? I'm just giving an example. I'm not saying you're a bad leader, but we don't have leaders yet here. But I believe after this program, by the grace of God, there will be improvement. And we'll be looking forward that we are going to be having magnetic leaders in Okunland by the grace of God. Yeah. You must be able to communicate your vision. If you just, if you cannot tell people where you are going, and your followers will be doubting what they are just following, you should be able to communicate to them your vision, your goals, and your objectives. It takes time to talk very well to make people to understand why I have to do this. And most of my followers have understand when I say yes, it should be yes. And if I say follow me, please follow me. And I will be with you. And if it takes me, some people they do understand from the followers. You can talk to some people within 30 minutes, they understand. But some people, even for 24 hours, they will not understand. But as a leader, you have to get them to understand. God will help us. In other words, you cannot be vague about where you are going, why you want to go there, and how others will benefit if they come along. Totally great leaders are known for more than just talking. They must have a track record of achievement. See you are the I did not just sell akara. I sold anything sellable in this town. And that's why in Makutu, I used to be very popular in the sense that some people, the moment they believe they finish their primary school, they cannot hawk again. I happen to grow up with a very, I don't know how to describe that woman. Eh? It's not only industrials. This is a woman, I've never seen her laughing throughout my lifetime. And when she say go, you must go. When she says stop, you must stop. So extraordinary discipline. Then I believe she was a winch, but she was not a winch. Oh. My grandmother was a very wonderful woman. But what I'm saying is that she made me to be very strong. Even when that thing is not sellable, she will tell you, go and sell, you will sell it. And I do tell people in my life, I have never been jobless. I have never been jobless. I find myself doing one thing or the other, leading others. As of after my secondary school at the age of 19, 20, I was a truck driver and I was paying over 7 people's school fees. And I will make them to work and see why. And I believe you can do it. That's my slogan. You can do it. Anybody can become successful. And like I've said too, in my certificate, I've never used it to work. My deed normally attracts people, attracts my employers to call me. And you can become somebody, honestly. I study business admin, but I work in the engineering company and I excel. And I went for international training and I excel in engineering. So my business admin certificate useless. After then, I studied criminology. My criminology useless. I would have loved to do PhD, but the responsibility and the whatever will not allow me. So you can become a magnetic leader. You can attract followers. It's not when you call your follower. Some leaders, they will gather some people and be taxing them. That is not leadership. You should be able to sacrifice whatever thing you have, even at the point of death. Today we are celebrating Rwanda in Africa. Now they have everything. And they came out from war. There's no country that survive that can revive back economically after war in 4 or 5 years without a good leadership. And you know one of the secrets of Paul Kagame, putting women in the position of leadership. 60% of the ministers are women. Though in Nigeria, women is different though, because they put somebody in petroleum and she nearly finished the whole thing. So also humanitarian affairs of the Buhari. Now they are talking of trillion. People don't say millions again, not even billions again. So, but then, if you want a better society, youth and women, put them in the position of leadership. In Rwanda, the moment you are above 50, you cannot become minister again. And he was able to show them living moderately. In fact, because of Kigame, they have to change the constitution. That is what magnetic leadership can do. Even the whole world are celebrating them. And you can see Rwanda today. I pray Nigeria will get there too. I pray Nigeria will get there too. Finally, so let me quickly round it up. As you look for potential leaders, you need to realize that there are really two kinds of leaders: those who attract followers and those who attract other leaders. I just gave you one example of Rwanda now. Rwanda now, everybody are celebrating Rwanda leader. He's already attracting. He's not attracting follower again. He's attracting leaders all over the world. I pray that will be our portion in this country very soon in Jesus' name. Um, Characteristic of those who attract followers and the characteristics of leaders who attract leaders is there in if you can get the soft copy in order not to bug you with my time and me too. I've spent more than 30 minutes allocated to me, and because I have other things too, I'm here with you, and my mind is here with you, but I will have to leave now. Thank you very much, and I pray one very soon we'll be celebrating leaders here among us. Not just leaders, magnetic leaders, attractive leaders that we attract followers and attract leaders. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Gabby.